Did your attorney just submit a settlement demand on your behalf, and now you want to know, what do I do now? What's the next step? Am I done? Well, stay tuned. In this video, I'm going to go through the ideal case, what you hope will happen. Then I'm going to go through the normal case, what normally happens after a settlement demand is given. And then I'm going to go through some of the reasons why you may not hear back from the defense right away. At the end, I'm going to give you a bonus tip, something that you should do if you submit a settlement demand and nothing happens afterward. Hi. I'm Naomi from Gonzalez Law, legal insights from California attorneys. So your attorney has just submitted your settlement demand. This can be a very exciting time because you're almost done with your case. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you want to know, how long is this going to take? Am I going to be done this week? I'm so close, I just want to be done. What's the next step? To understand that, you need to understand what exactly is a settlement demand. A settlement demand is the opening move from your attorney to start settlement negotiations. If you can imagine, in workers' compensation, settlement negotiations happen very similar to any other negotiation. One side will start high, the other side starts low, and then you guys will meet in the middle, and that will be the number that you're settling on. The ideal case. This is the case where your attorney actually waits until you have completely finished your treatment, you have reached permanent and stationary, or you are at maximal medical improvement, and you have received that final report from the doctor that gives you the numbers that you need to settle. Now your attorney will calculate that out, send a demand to the defense, and the attorney will look at it and say, you know what, that does look fair. We're going to go ahead and go forward with this settlement. Then they'll provide the settlement documents to your attorney, and you'll go ahead and move forward with the settlement finalization. Now, this whole process, if everybody's responsive, that could be the same day, it could be the same week. It could move very quickly. This kind of settlement is not uncommon for a stipulation with request for award because there's not a lot of negotiation there. That kind of settlement is solely based on what the numbers the doctor gave you in their report. If they did the numbers and they came up with the same number, then they could just move forward with settlement. Now, for a compromise and release, if you're giving a demand and they're saying yes, that probably means that there was more money on the table. They had more money that they could have done, but you only asked for this amount, so they say, sure, let's do it. And so now you're actually going to be settling for less than you might have been able to get, but there's no way of really knowing that for sure, but that's usually what that's an indication of. For a normal case, there is a wide range of normal. However, your attorney will give a settlement demand at the time that you have completed your treatment and when you do have that final report. The attorney's demand will be kind of high compared to where they think the case value is. And what's going to happen is the defense is going to look at that. Then they're going to go forward and say, okay, they're asking for this amount. We're going to try to lowball them here. And depending on where they're at will depend on our next move. If, for example, we're demanding $30,000 and their counter is $1,000, there's probably no reason to go forward because we are not in the same ballpark. However, if they're giving us a counter that we can work with, then what's going to happen is we're going to either decide to accept that one or give another counter. And once we give ours, they're going to decide if they want to accept it or give another one. And eventually you'll reach a point in the middle where you're both ready to move forward with settlement. And it's going to work very much like the ideal case. They're going to give settlement documents and you're going to start the settlement finalization. While this process does take a little bit longer usually than the ideal case because there is more back and forth. However, if both sides are responsive, it could be as early as the same week that you're able to go to sign settlement documents, or it can actually be a couple months later, depending on how quick everybody moves. Now, this kind of case is normal for a compromise and release because there is a larger amount of leeway there is for settlement. So you should be going back and forth a little bit on a compromise and release. For stipulation, it's not really that common. However, when we do see this kind of back and forth is when there is a disagreement in the final reports. Maybe, for example, the primary treating physician found you to be 11% permanent disability. However, the QME, the neutral doctor, found you to be 9% permanent disability, well, then you might go back and forth and decide on a compromise of 10% permanent disability so that you can go ahead and settle the case instead of moving forward to trial. So there are several reasons that you may have given your demand, but then you're not hearing back right away. The first one is the defense simply doesn't believe that this case is ready for settlement. In other words, there's not a final report, or there's some questions on that final report. They may want to depose the doctor. They may want to do an interrogatory. So they're just not quite ready to move forward to the settlement negotiations. The other reason is maybe they feel like there's some clarity that needs to happen with a lien or with an overpayment, something that they need to make sure to get the numbers straight before they can move forward to settlement. The other reason that they might not be getting back to you right away is because the number you're asking for is actually higher than what the adjuster is able to give. That means it's exceeding their desk authority, and they have to get approval from higher ups in order to give you that amount. What we see normally in that case is the adjuster will actually have a meeting with whatever managers that they have and try to get that authority going forward. The other reason is sometimes the procedures within the company actually require a board to approve any kind of settlement offer. And so that might hold up your case for a while, especially if they have to do it in person. So that can be adding time to their response. And another reason that they may not be getting back to you is just simply that the adjuster is not being responsive. Maybe they have too many cases and they just can't keep on top of everything, but they're just not getting back to you. One of the things that might be stopping the settlement demand from getting an answer is if the settlement demand was actually given verbally. If it wasn't in writing, the defense attorney may not have presented it to their client. So you want to make sure that those are in writing when you give them out. Bonus tip. What can you do if you do give the settlement demand and nothing happens? You just don't hear anything back from the defense. This can happen and it is very frustrating. What you want to do is you want to file a DOR for a hearing with the Workers' Compensation Appeals Board. That will kind of force the hand of the defense to actually address you and deal with you. Because we have had instances, we've contacted them literally 10 times and there's just no response from them. Radio silence. And so then we file a hearing so that we can move forward with the settlement and they can actually give us an answer one way or the other. If you like this video, press like. If you would like to see other videos about the workers' compensation system, things to do and mistakes to avoid, press subscribe and hit the bell for our Tuesday notifications on our new videos. And just like always, this information is general information. If you need information specific to your case, go ahead and give us a call or text us consult and we'll be very happy to talk to you. We like talking to people. And congratulations on almost finishing your case. I wish you the best of luck in the future.